Hello, we're going to do section 3 of chapter 8, graphing quadratic functions. We have our quadratic function here, x squared minus 4x minus 5. We know it's a quadratic function because we have a square. We know that the a is going to be in front of the x squared. We know that our b is going to be here in front of the x, and our c is by itself. And so we can go ahead and step 1. There's going to be 4 main steps to graphing quadratic functions. The first is to find the axis of symmetry. To find the axis of symmetry, we use the equation negative b over 2a. And so we can go ahead and look at our equation, and our equation, our b was negative 4. That was the number in front, or the number in front of the letter x. So we have negative already in the equation, minus 4, since there's a negative in front of the 4, over 2 times a. Now our a, since there's nothing in front of the x, our a is just simply 1. So we have negative, negative 4, 2 negatives equal positive. So we have 4 over 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 4 divided by 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times. So we know our line of symmetry, our axis of symmetry, is going to be at 2. Now that we know our first step, we went ahead and we did all that. Now we're going to plug this 2 in for our x. And so we have our equation, x squared minus 4x minus 5. And anywhere we see an x, we put a 2. So we're going to have 2 squared minus 4, and instead of x, we're going to put a 2, minus 5. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 4 times 2, which is 8, minus 5. So we have 4 minus 8, which is minus 4. 4 minus 8, minus 4, minus 5. Negative 4 minus 5, or the same as what is 4 plus 5. 4 plus 5 is 9. We put a negative in front. So we get negative 9. So we actually get our point, which is going to be at 2. That comes from our step 1. And then we get our point, negative 9. That is going to be our y value. So our vertex is all the way at right 2, down 9. So if you would just think of an axis, we're going to go right 2, 1, 2. We're going to go down 9 spots. This is 9, negative style, and we're going to put our point. So this is where our vertex is, and it is also where our line of symmetry is. So that's where our line is going to go, with our vertex being here. For step 3, we've gone ahead, we found our axis of symmetry, we found our vertex. Now we got to find our y-intercept. The y-intercept is very easy. We make the x equals 0. Again, this is where in this parabola, what we're going to draw, does it cross the y-line? This is our y-line. So imagine this is our parabola. We drew our parabola. Where does it cross this line? Right here. So that means that this x equals 0. We're not going to go left or right any. We're going to be right here. And we're trying to figure out where it hit this line. So we put 0 in here for x. We put 0 in here for x. So we have x squared 0. 4 times 0 is 0. So our simple answer is y equals negative 5. So we have another point for this parabola. We have our vertex, which is up here, 2, negative 9. We have our y-intercept, which is going to be x is 0. And our y-line is going to be negative 5. So we have our 2 answers so far. So when to graph this, we could graph part of our parabola, 0, negative 5. So one of our last steps is to go ahead and graph it. We know that our point of symmetry is at x is 2, y is negative 9. So we can go ahead and put in negative 9 here. We also know that at 0 is our y-intercept, 0, 5. So what we're going to do is try to graph some points that are on the left side of our axis of symmetry, and then we're conversely we can flip it. We're going to head graph 2 more. We can graph 1 and then negative 1. And I try to do them all in order so that we have negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and then we'll go down here and do the opposite. We'll go to 3, 4, and 5. We're going to show you how to flips it, and actually once you do a couple points on one side, you can actually just flip it over. You don't have to do any more math. So what we have is at 2, negative 9. We already know that one. We have 0, 5. So we have x is 1. And so what we're going to do is we're going to type in 1. We're going to plug in 1 to our original equation, which was x squared minus 4x minus 5. And we're going to go ahead and put 1 in. And so we have 1 times 1 squared, minus 4 times 1, minus 5. 1 squared, 1 times 1 is 1, minus 4. 4 times 1 is 4, minus 5. So we have negative 1 minus 4, which is negative 3, minus 5, which is negative 8. So in here, we can put negative 8. Now the same thing can be done for negative 1. We can plug in negative 1. And so we can have negative 1 squared minus 4 times negative 1 minus 5. And so for negative 1, we can plug that in. 1 times 1, or negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. Negative 4 times negative 1 is actually going to turn into a positive 4 minus 5. So we have 1 plus 4, which is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. And we've actually got y equals 0. And so we can plot these. We go negative 1, 0. We go to 0, 5. No, I'm sorry, that should be 0, negative 5. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We plug that in. We go to 1, negative 8. And then we go to 2, minus 9. And we get part of our parabola. Now that's part of it. The other part is we're going to flip it. And we can go ahead down to 3. And we go to 4. These are on the opposite side. And what we're going to find out that if this is our axis of symmetry right here, that with a parabola, it's going to be on the same. So 1 away from 2, we went up 1. And we went from 2 to 1. We went negative 8. And actually at 3, we're 1 away from the axis of symmetry. We're going to be at the same spot. And the same with 4. We put 4 in. We're 2 away. 1, 2. Same thing here. 1, 2. And we're at 5. So we can go minus 5. So right here we were minus 3. And we can put in 5. And we're actually 3 away now. And we were 1, 2, 3 away. And we're actually going to be at 0. Ah! It moved on me. But we're actually going to be here at, it should be 5, 0. So I need another one of these right here. So we put here and circle. And we created our parabola. So this should be at negative 5. And this should be at 0. We've created our parabola. There we go. Now I'm going to do another one for you, a little bit quicker, but hopefully this makes sense.